Uh-oh, here we go. What up, everybody? Sunday night, live before lock. These Josh beats. You're exactly right. These are Josh beats. Josh is back. What's going on, everybody? Live before lock, Sunday night, March 24th. We're here. This snooze track intro has got to go. Sean V, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. Got some vino. We've got a 4-gamer. We've got most of the news too, so that's kind of exciting. I am running crunches right now, so let's grab those lineups out of there and we'll take a look. Back with the lasers. So I can bounce all over the place. We can go lasers. We can go bricks. We can go lasers on bricks. We can do whatever. Hey, Mike. Take a little break there, buddy. Go give yourself 5 minutes. No Stanley Johnson. God, with AD playing, I mean, he might play, but it's not fantasy viable. AD in, Christian Wood in. No need for him. Yeah, no more Gronk. This should be like a Natty Light or Key Light or something. I should smash it, but here's a sip of wine. All right, so let's do this. Let's take a quick lap through each game with my current exposures. And then we'll take some questions. So let me export all of these crunches right now. Then we'll get into it. So updated as of right now, my projections are as up to date as they will get until we get some other different news. I'm a little nervous about seeing this. It should be pretty gnarly exposures. I don't think Josh was too quick on the ban here. I don't need someone to start off the show defaming some of my colleagues. It's not cool, man. Because you don't like somebody as much, it doesn't mean you have to come in and announce it to everybody. Josh doesn't drink cheap wine. My wife would never allow that. Okay, both crunches are in. So let's refresh. And then we can talk about exposures. All right, so that's one. Fanduel is in. This should be exciting. And then DraftKings. Also refreshed. And boom. All right, let's go. Some of this is going to look ridiculous. I haven't made any tweaks yet. Marcus Morris in play. Yeah, that's an understatement. All right, here we go. Pelicans and Rockets. Rockets are 10-point favorites in New Orleans. Pelicans defense is bad. Rockets defense is pretty good. Major pace-up spot for Houston. And that's going to be fun. But let's take a look at New Orleans, and we can try to walk through some of this. I'm not super high on Julius Randle. 9K on Fanduel, 8,100 on DK. I'm basically just running with the field. 8,900 on Fanduel, 7,600 on DK. Elfrid Payton, I think, looks a lot better than he's getting credit for. Just 6% ownership on Fanduel, 8% on DK. Minutes are there, so I'm going to come in over that number. The guy that I think that we need to take a look at, and I'm a little curious as to why I'm getting so much, but price probably pointing it out. So let's dig into Frank Jackson right now. He's 5,400 on Fanduel, but 4,500 on DK. I've got him in for 34 minutes. Is that just what's driving how completely incorrect this is? 32, 40, 35, 36, 34, 33, 37. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with that Frank Jackson projection. What do we have for Alex's rankings here? Frank Jackson on DraftKings. Frank Jackson on DK is a C points B value. Yeah, that's not the worst ranking in the world. I wouldn't mind having it, but I think that I probably have too much. That feels aggressive. So let's take a look at Wowie. Let's grab the Pels. Anybody not playing? Oh, yeah. Everybody. Drew Holiday off. Eton Moore off. Hope everybody's having a good night, closing out their weekend well. All right, Frank Jackson, assist rate. 2.4 and 1.7. I don't need to get 30% Frank Jackson unless I agree with it. So we need to figure this out. Frank Jackson is at 2.3 assist rate. That is fine by me. 2 turnover rate. That's fine. He gets rebounds, 4.7. Could dial that one back a little bit. Actually, that's probably fine. Is he still getting a steal? Nah, we can walk that one back a little bit. Usage rate 18%. Is that high? That low? Ooh, it might be low. Yeah, I'm going to end up with some Frank Jackson. 4,500 is too cheap for that many minutes. I'll take 1 minute off of him just to dull the edges a little bit. Give it to Bertan's brother if I need to. Where's the cognac on this fine Sunday? No cognac today. Thoughts on Okafor in a DK GPP? There's basically no scenario where I could recommend Jahlil Okafor today. Christian Wood is confirmed to at least see some sort of time today per Gentry. Anthony Davis is in. If Jahlil Okafor plays enough minutes to be GPP viable, I'm not entirely sure anybody can see that coming. So ultimately for the Pels, I don't have anybody I want to go crazy on. I'll be heavier than the field on Elfrid Payton, and I'm clearly going kind of nuts on Frank Jackson on my final crunch at like 640. You know, we'll see that number come down, but you know, 4,500 for a punt play is not the worst idea in the world. If I take a look at him on DraftKings, you know, he's got point guard, shooting guard eligibility. He's a solid value on a day where there's really not that much out there. So if you got to make it work in this kind of game, maybe you do it if the minutes are there. Ownership is updated. That's always good to know. Shout out to everybody for letting me know that. Just when I thought 1 Bertans was enough. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear on that one. What do I think of Langston Galloway as a possible drop? We will get there. I assume I don't have him, though. That would be my guess, at least. All right, ownership. Updated 1 minute ago. Whew, that's a pretty healthy update, too. It's going to change some stuff up for me. New crunch is going to be crazy. All right, so that's a look at the Pelicans. We'll look at Houston now. Harden, Paul, Capella, and Gordon are really the only guys getting any ownership. You can always get to a little bit of PJ Tucker. He's not somebody that I'm really getting to. You can see on FanDuel I have 20% Harden, 40% Paul, 28% Capella, 31% Gordon. On DK, I'm very heavy on Chris Paul. That should be no surprise. He's 7K. So I'm just kind of having a lot of Houston. Those extra possessions are really important. The great defensive matchup or lack thereof from New Orleans is great for Houston. So I'm going to have quite a bit of Harden, Paul, Capella, and Gordon over the field for the most part on DraftKings on all of these guys except for Capella. On FanDuel, I'm just over on Paul. Well, I could be over on Paul, Capella, and Gordon, but you got to get some of the Rockets here. 119.75 implied total, highest on the slate, best defensive matchup on the slate, best pace-up spot. Everything checks off boxes for this looking like a really good spot for Houston, so I am doing that. It doesn't really matter much to me who else plays for the Rockets. Now, if we go to Boston, because I know this is a big one, Celtics and Spurs, 108.75 implied total for Boston, 110.25 for the Spurs. Boston now without Jason Tatum, without Al Horford, Greg Monroe available to play. Aaron Baines is in. Everybody else is in. So now that there's a little bit more ownership or a little bit more value out there, I have got more Kyrie than I had this morning. I'm still under the field on FanDuel and DraftKings at 20% on both sides. He's close to double that. Marcus Morris is the guy that I can't really get away from. I've got him in for 34 minutes right now, and I think that's probably something I need to walk back now that Monroe is available. The alternative was just more minutes to like Gershon Yabusele or something, and I don't really need that. So I'm going to take Marcus Morris down to 32 minutes just to dull the edges a little bit. Baines is limited 16 to 20 or something along those lines. So he's not really somebody that I want to go to. I do want to bring down that Marcus Morris ownership, but I'm going to have quite a bit. Same story for Jalen Brown, particularly on DraftKings. I'm going to have Jalen Brown in almost all of my lineups. Shooting guard, small forward eligibility. I mean, first and foremost, he just grades out as the best play on DK for me. So he is straight up the best play regardless of position, and then he has the ability to be put in shooting guard, small forward, guard forward, utility. So Jalen Brown is the linchpin to everything that I have today. Well, not linchpin, but because he can not be great and it won't really matter all that much on a 4-gamer. But at $4,300 for a guy that should play 30 minutes, can't beat it. Yeah, Monroe is there. Already confirmed that he's available. Sorry, GQ. I get what you're doing there. Paul, Harden, Gordon, Tucker, Capella, Peyton, Jackson, Williams, Randall, Davis. Yeah, I don't see Daniel Tice being super necessary, especially with Monroe there now. Between Baines, Monroe, Tice, Marcus Morris, Semi, there's enough bodies there, especially against San Antonio. So for Boston, Jalen Brown for me on DraftKings is the best play of the day. I will have a lot of Marcus Morris and Jalen Brown. I'm underweight on Irving. I'm underweight on Marcus Smart. I'm massively underweight on Daniel Tice, who I expect to get at least some sort of update in the next ownership. He should not be owned as much as he is now that all the news is official. Like I have him in for 18 minutes. He can get a little bit more for sure. He has not played more than 18 minutes in the last month, and they have enough bodies, so not worried about it. What else do we got? Is Daniel Tice starting? I don't know. Did the Celtics announce the lineup yet? I don't remember seeing it. Let's move on to the San Antonio side. Just running in place with Aldridge, running in place with DeRozan. A little bit heavy on Derek White, FanDuel or DK. I think he's a little bit underpriced, particularly in this matchup now. Going to get slept on to pretty low ownership. So I don't mind having Derek White. I don't mind using Bertans as a punt on FanDuel, but I don't ever really want to have a lot of Spurs, especially against Boston. It's just not a good matchup. So let's go to Golden State. Why underweight on Kyrie? That's a good question. He doesn't see like a massive boost. Not as big as you would expect for having these guys out. So it's not that I don't mind Kyrie. Like, you know, I will have 20%. I just have guys grading out a little bit better. 10-3 is a pretty healthy price tag on FanDuel. The 8,800 on DraftKings is great. You know, we could take a look at that if we need to. But just being point guard eligible is tough, and I can't recommend Kyrie ahead of 7K Chris Paul. So now I'm just spending up even more money. I think that I would rather have James Harden than Kyrie. So that's a guy with a better price tag and then one with a higher ceiling. He just gets pinched out for me. It makes it difficult to get all the way up to 41 like DraftKings has. Yeah, I agree that Kyrie is underpriced on DraftKings, but so is everybody. So nobody's really underpriced anymore because every price is low. Like I mean, I have Kyrie as my 7th best point guard on DK. It's just not for me. Like Aldridge, I'll be right with the field. I have the same amount of exposure on FanDuel. I have basically the same amount on DraftKings. It's not there for me. Apparently, I think Frank Jackson is a good pivot from Jalen Brown. Although that's not at all where I would want to pivot. I wouldn't use Jalen Brown as my pivot spot. That's neither here nor there. Let's go to the Warriors. Warriors and Pistons. Warriors are 10-point favorites at home. Things did not go well for them yesterday, obviously. I'm not really here. Like, I'm underweight on Curry. I basically don't have Durant. Draymond is the guy that I'm getting, and at 6K on DraftKings, I'm getting an abundance. It's going to be really difficult for me to get away from that. I might even pull a minute from him just to dull those edges as well. But I want Draymond in this spot. I talked about it on the early show today. It's not like a normal play for him. He's a different player, and he's significantly more involved in the offense when DeMarcus Cousins is not on the floor. I just want to be there. Detroit's offense is not fantastic, so I think Draymond could be a key cog today. But yeah, like I'll have a lot of Draymond on DraftKings. Yeah, I would say Curry is probably the Irving pivot as well. Like I have 11% on FanDuel. That's close to enough. I just don't want to be on this Golden State side. Pistons defense is good. Pace down spot for the Warriors. The reason to take the Warriors is you think they're going to try to come out here and prove something after yesterday's beating, and I just assume that they don't give a shit. On the Pistons side, starting to get into a little bit of Andre Drummond now that value's opening up. 11-1 on FanDuel, 8,700 on DraftKings. If he's only at 6% on FanDuel, I'd like to take a chance. Sometimes you just need those raw points on a 4-gamer, and you know, I'm willing to take that chance against Golden State here. So Drummond's been at 1.4 FanDuel points per minute over his last 30 days. I'm basically projecting him at that rate, and if that's the case, then I think that I could talk myself into a little bit. I've tapered off a tad on Luke Kennard. I'm still with the field or slightly above on DraftKings, but nothing crazy. Now, finally, we'll take a look at Lakers and Kings, and then we'll start doing crunches and answering questions. And I don't know. Whatever we want to do. We got a live show with 40 minutes until lock. I'll take a sip of wine. This one's scaring me a lot. So maybe we'll dig into it a bit more. Take some questions from Premium Slack. Hit that like button while you're here, everybody. What do we got in here? 11:50 on a Sunday at 6:20. give me that like button. Lakers in Sacramento, 114.5 implied total for the Lake Show. 116 for the Kings. So Kings are up 1.5. This is just a massively quick game. Lakers and Kings are 4th and 5th, respectively, in my pace metrics. So this one's going to be moving. I'm getting to LeBron on Fanduel at 10-7. I can't avoid that. Right with the field, the way the positions are structured on Fanduel, it's just I can't ignore it. So I will have some LeBron. I have no real interest on DraftKings. I'm pretty heavy on Kyle Kuzma, 6K on Fanduel. I don't have much on DraftKings, but 6K on Fanduel is ludicrous. So get yourself Kuzma. JaVale is the elephant in the room. There's going to be a contingent of people in this industry that are like, oh, you're playing JaVale McGee, you're chasing. Well, whatever. I don't know what to do with him. I gave him 24 minutes. It's a very likely scenario that he plays 30. And if you know that JaVale McGee is playing 30 minutes, you should have him in like 80% of your lineups. That said, I'm just running with the field here, so I've got roughly 43% on FanDuel, 34 on DraftKings. Just, put yourself in a... Projections are irrelevant for JaVale McGee today. Pick the number, pick the amount that you want JaVale in your lineups and go from there, because there's so much ambiguity on this team right now that it's really hard to trust. So 24 minutes is the level that I could put him at where I'm relatively confident I'll have him in a decent amount of lineups, and that's the best that I can do. I don't really know how else to move forward for them. Rondo is another guy that I'm getting a lot, particularly on FanDuel, 6,500. He's at 30% ownership. I'm just going to be there. And this spot feels great. Kings defense is fine, but it's not something that I'm worried about really for Rondo. I like that LeBron is there. So I'm not as heavy on DraftKings, but 6,500 on FanDuel, again, with the way that rosters are structured. I want to have a lot of shares of this game. If they're keeping JaVale McGee around to see if they want him for next year, the Lakers are doomed. JaVale McGee should not be on this team next year. Neither here nor there. I'm getting to some KCP. I'm getting a little bit to the boss man, Alex Caruso. Shout out to the thumbnail on this video. A little bit of Reggie Bullock. I just want pieces of this game. So I'm going to be overexposed to it because it sets up as a fantastic fantasy game. There's so many possible fantasy points to go around that I can't imagine not having a ton of it. If we go to Sacramento, I'm a little bit underweight on De'Aaron Fox, as I've been lately. Just hasn't been fantastic. 1.14 FanDuel points per minute over the last 30. That's fine and all, but when you have Buddy Hield, $1,200 cheaper on FanDuel or $600 cheaper on DK, or basically the same guy in the same minutes, give me the guy with the cheap minutes, or give me the guy with the cheaper price tag. So I'm getting a lot of $7,900 Buddy Hield on FanDuel. I'm getting a lot of him at $7,100 on DraftKings. I'm totally cool with it. Caruso, that's good. That's good stuff. Not too much on Bagley. 29 minutes. I like the spot. Nothing crazy. We don't have any Harry Giles. I assume that Costa Koufos picks up most of those minutes. I'll get some Harrison Barnes on FanDuel because, as I've mentioned before, positions are stupid on FanDuel and you have to get 200% total exposure. And for someone like Barnes in this matchup, pace up, like this is the kind of time I want to try to get him. He's not great on a per minute basis, so I want to give him more possessions, if that makes sense. And that works for everybody, but even more so Harrison Barnes. And then Bielitsa, 5,200 on FanDuel, loading up. Got to do it. Got him in for 28 minutes. Can't imagine not having him. So that's my quick lap through all 4 games. Can't beat it. Who do I love on the Sacramento side? Bielitsa, Barnes, and Buddy Hield would be the 3 for the most there. Barnes, not a guy that I really need on DK. Yeah, Buddy's a tough one, man. 34-ish minutes, 1.1 fantasy points. Like, he's another guy that I want to have a lot of these guys because there's more possessions in 48 minutes than most games. And possessions are everything. So that's where we're at. I don't believe we're really waiting on anything else. Is there any news that we don't have yet? Trying to scroll through to see if I'm missing anything, but I don't think that I am. Favorite drop guys on FanDuel? That is a question I can answer. Let's see. Favorite drop guys on FanDuel. Let's take a look and see who's popping up for me. Bertans, Reggie Bullock, Tice, Luke Kennard. I mean, he's 4K, but still, he's got the best chance of being decent. But I would say Bertans, Bullock, and Tice are my three biggest ones. Who starts at center for Golden State? Probably doesn't matter. Hit that like button, everybody. Can Greg Monroe see 20 minutes? He can, but I mean, I would imagine he doesn't. Small forward FanDuel GPP. Bielitsa plus who? Kenrich or Hayward? Neither? Neither would be my answer. So on FanDuel, before I run another crunch, if I look at my small forward ownership, I've got 67 Bielitsa, 35 Barnes, 30 LeBron, 17 to Gay and Hayward, 11 to Darius Miller, 16 to Bertans, and 7 to Durant. I don't have Kenrich Williams at all. Any Derek White interest? I do. I do have a little bit. WR Cooper, are we thinking 2 uniques on this smaller slate? I use 1 every day. Okay to play Harden and Paul in the same DK GPP. Yeah, it's a 4-game slate. Where is Fast Eddie? Not on this show. Shout out to Nolan Kelly. Works with us. Does a lot of the hockey content. Jeremy Macklin apparently retired. Nolan dropping the bomb on Twitter. Wire tweets from 2013 showing up in my timeline. Kudos on that one, Nolan. I know you'll probably never hear this. Playing Chipotle head-to-head. Think he's stacking Boston. I don't think he's looking at your head-to-head to figure it out. Sorry. I assume he's stacking whoever the best individual point per dollar plays are, if I had to guess. Yeah, which means Jalen Brown and Marcus Morris are probably on that list. How many Celtics am I shooting for in a GPP? I don't think about it like that. I don't know, anywhere between 0 and 4, which I know is an incredibly unhelpful answer, but whatever makes my lineup work. Thoughts on Eric Gordon? I like him more than I want to. I think it might be time to run a crunch, but I want to wait until like 6:40, make sure we don't miss anything. I hate doing work twice. Let's check and see if there's any more tournaments to enter. You're drinking Hennessy and cola. Ew. I hope they're separate glasses. That's gross. What's in my glass? Lease and Fitch Cabernet. Yeah. A lot of wine drinking in this house. Special thanks to my wife. Ugh. Let's see. Are there any better lineups out or any contests out there that look good? Doesn't appear so. Don't need it. Don't need it. Don't need it. No, nothing of value on Fanduel. Anything good on DK? Twism. I like the scroll on the bottom. Thanks. Appreciate that. I hope that doesn't sound sarcastic. I really do appreciate that. Ooh, another quarter. Or did I see that wrong? $400? Is that real? I can't enter that garbage. Settle down, Josh. How dare you disrespect Hennessy and mix it with cola? Exactly. No, cola in anything is not good. Hayward a good pivot. To what? Bullocks. I prefer Kennard. 29 minutes. Do what daddy likes. Okay, yeah, let's hit some ownership. So we've got on DK, Jalen Brown at 57%. I completely agree with it. I'll have more. JaVale at 47. You have to at least be close to it because there's the opportunity for him to play 30 minutes and be essential at 5,600. So I like just being around the field. I think that Kyrie is over-owned at 41%. I think the James... Oh, God, that was probably really loud and annoying. Is it crazy to use Monroe on FanDuel as my punt play? Yes, I don't like that at all. I don't mind Harden's ownership at 33. I don't mind Bielitsa's ownership at 33. I feel like I have more Harden than that, right? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I would be heavier on Harden. Harden or LeBron? Harden, well, depends on the site. So Harden is better on DraftKings. LeBron is better on FanDuel. There's much more ceiling on a James Harden game today on DK, but on FanDuel, where LeBron is like 10 and change at a small forward position, where on 4-game slates, raw points matter a little bit more, and it's not like LeBron has like a 18-point floor or something. So if he's out there, it should be fine, especially in that game. Yeah, on FanDuel, I would rather have LeBron than Harden, as weird as that sounds. Just because of the position, Uncle Chubbs. Yeah. Yeah, look, James Harden looks really good. I mean, I have 21% on FanDuel. I'm not trying to make it sound as if he's not someone I have. I just happen to have LeBron more. But like if Harden drops 75 or something on DK on a 4-gamer, you need that shit. What else we got here? Do I like Ish? Not really. White or Frank Jackson in a DK GPP? Apparently Frank Jackson. I will basically have very little Daniel Tice. Out of wine, didn't bring the bottle. I have to send a little DM to the wife. Hey, can you bring me a bottle of vino? Maybe I'll do that. Text the wife. It was a good day today. I went and got bagels. Took the dogs to the dog park. Good stuff. You think she brings me wine, people? Does she love me? We're gonna find out. Send this text and let's take some questions and run some crunches. Here we go. Final crunch is about to be run right now because I don't think that we are watching or waiting for any news. If you're not watching March Madness, I feel very sorry for you. Honestly, I feel very sorry for myself. It used to run my life, and now I don't watch it at all. So, let's run crunches. That works for everybody else. Fanduel, DraftKings. Thoughts on Pirtle? Don't have any. Not getting to De'Aaron Fox. Thoughts on him? Not really getting to him. No interest in Christian Wood. Don't care about Bogut. Don't care about Looney. There, look at this queen. What a heroic effort on the wife's part. Bringing the vino. Thanks, baby. They all said that you wouldn't bring it because you're probably a terrible person. YouTube chat's ruthless, baby. YouTube chat's ruthless. There you go. Thanks, sweetheart. Bye, Riggs. Bye, buddy. Oh, okay. She lets me do this for a living, so yeah, she loves it. Yes, she does. She's a fantastic woman. Why the high projections on Wagner and Stanley Johnson? I don't even have Stanley Johnson projected, do I? Yeah, I'm not even giving Stanley Johnson minutes. Okay, let's run crunches. FanDuel up first. Should have winked at her. I don't need to wink at her. The wife has been on a stream before. She made a New Year's Eve appearance while we were decked out in our late 80s garb, early 90s garb, whatever you want to call it. Manningdale City. Yeah, Uncle Sam will get you. Yeah, hit that like button. The more likes I get, the more my wife will love me. I hope. How the fuck is Josh married? 20 Rick. I got lucky, man. I got super lucky. I met her within a month of moving here. We've been together for a decade now. All right. Cleared out the projections. Let's get FanDuel in first. Clear my filters. Josh got the glow going. Yeah, so I had to change the I probably look a little different on the screen. I had to change like brightness and stuff settings. The green screen and the camera were picking up a lot of the green off of this shirt, and it was like fading me into the background. Rondo or CP3 on FanDuel? Probably Rondo. Doesn't make me comfortable. Okay, FanDuel projections are in. How's the married life treating me? It's fantastic. I have the best life in the world. I wouldn't trade it with anybody except for like billionaires. Mark Stockholm, am I tripping, or does your spreadsheet say 30% Irving on Yahoo, but you said you didn't like him? There aren't any exposures on there. It's just sort of how much I should like him. Let me take a look at it quick. No, you're tripping. Yeah, he's just fine on Yahoo for me. Okay, so FanDuel Crunch, don't need Wowie anymore. Let's crunch out some lineups. Upload DraftKings now. This is the process, guys. It's in front of your face. Delete my old projections. Update my weights. Jonathan, I think I do have the best life. I get paid to talk about daily fantasy sports every single day. I've got my wife, I've got my 2 pups, and I'm just, I pretty much do anything that I need to do. So, yeah, I think my life is fantastic. Tickly Fingers, do I know you personally? You're making a whispering eye joke? I love role models, man. Josh, why is everyone going nuts over Frank Jackson? I don't know, because I'm putting people onto Frank Jackson in a way that it makes me uncomfortable. Projections say updated 45 minutes ago. Is that correct? It's probably correct, but I'll push that out for you, Ramsey. Here's whatever I have right now as I crunch. Rabashua, I don't know what you mean. If I said something, I have no idea what I meant. Say hi back. Jasmine, what up? All right, let's clean out some lineups. Josh definitely has a 20. Rick, you're a weirdo, man. Even Dan is a better host. That's funny shit to me. What up, Dan? I assume you're not listening to this. Is Fareed in play on Fanduel? No, not really. How would I spend up on DK? Harden. DK utility, Drummond or Kyrie? Drummond. My wife does not have a burner account. Busy buying jewelry boxes and drinking wine downstairs by herself. Curry or Kyrie on Fanduel? Probably Kyrie, but doesn't make me really happy about it. Hayward or Jackson? Jackson. Do I like Bagley in a DK GPP? Of course. Favorite point guards, raw points on FanDuel. Don't Embiid my status, man. You know I post that shit to the website, right? Ace King, I want to run all these shows, man. I would do more shows. I wouldn't do more shows. I'm completely burned out. But no, I choose to do everything that I do. Nobody's telling me to do more or less. I do exactly what I need to. I think everybody's happy with that as well. I think Tom would tell me otherwise. I just want to be around to do this stuff because it's fun as hell. You guys got to understand that I'm going to play this slate one way or the other. So all that you're getting out of me is me turning on a camera so you could watch it. Engelman, what's your DK username? I always see Adam's, never see yours. 2 reasons for that. 3 reasons for that. 1, it might just be 2. I think that Adam is better at fantasy sports than I am. Full stop. No problem admitting that. 2, I don't really play high dollar contests. I grind out the lowest stuff I can get my money into. It's where I have the best ROI. And it's really hard to play and do live shows and make sure that you're putting your money in the best hands. So I have the functionality to play better tournaments than I do. I simply just don't trust it. So I use DFS as a game as just like fun money. I like to take it out and buy dumb stuff for my wife or vacations or something like that. But for me to max out bigger tournaments to go 150 on like an $8 or something on a day-to-day basis, I can only really do that on days where I'm not on a live stream. Do I get paid salary-wise? Yes. I work more at this job than I did at my real desk job before I got here a year ago. A year ago Monday, I believe, too. So I think that today is the literal year point where tomorrow would have been my first official day at Osimo. Kind of crazy, right? And you can see it right now. Like, I crunched these lineups a while ago, and now I'm just like distracted by answering questions and stuff. If I had more money on the table, it'd kill me. But yeah, you see Adam because he's in higher dollar contests, and I think that he is better than me. I can't. It'd be like me saying that I think that I'm better than Alex. I'm just not. El Negro Loco, how come I get 3 lineups on the screen and you only get 2 from Fantasy Cruncher? Depends on how many categories you're showing and how wide your monitor is. Am I playing Harden and Paul in the same lineup? I am. Yeah, so for the most part on DK, I play the $4 20 max, and then I'll play basically anything I can get my hands on at a quarter and a dollar. And then on FanDuel, from time to time, on days where I'm not on a live stream before lock, I'll either play the 222, the 333, or the 444 on FanDuel, the quarter, and then some of the 3 and 5 max stuff. So I just don't play the same sort of volume. Never really have either. Got a degree in finance, and the inner finance degree in me really keeps me like I'm just really, 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 really conservative. I do love my job, Manningdale City. I do. I did it for a year with another job just because I loved it so much and knew that I wanted to get out of it, and it worked. So yeah, I don't ever want to jeopardize my actual life and my job because I love this more than I could love anything else. Oh, but Robert Woods, I'm sorry. I get so many invites to contests and stuff, I don't even look at that stuff any longer. Thought you big rigs didn't enter the 25-cent. Shake my head. Yeah, so that's what I'm telling you. Like I don't enter that high dollar stuff. You're not going to see me winning 100K in a $40, 150 max or something like that. I'm just not in those tournaments. Just because I do this for a living doesn't mean that I'm playing bigger volume. It's I've looked at the data. On days that I do a live stream, I have a very significant hit to my ROI. This is not beneficial to me. Did I have a big win to set me into this career, or just long-term grinded out success? I mean, I guess long-term grinded out success, but I've had, multiple good wins in my opinion. I've just been playing forever because I'm a massive sports fan and it's just fun. I would be doing this one way or the other. I just happened to turn a camera on and let you guys watch me do it. And I think that I'm uniquely set up just from my financial background, and I'd like to think that I'm pretty good in Excel. I think you people see that. So I thought I brought a unique visual to the table. Yeah, Looney's a game time decision. I don't think it matters. There's not much we could really do with that information, and the Warriors have like 77 centers. Josh is definitely half in the bag today. Cheers. I'm not. This is the second glass of wine I've had today. I'm just not. Oh, my DK. Oh, sorry. My DK username is Josh Engelman. My FanDuel username is Josh Engelman. My handle on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Like, I'm just Josh Engelman on everything. I don't have any different handles. Sorry. I don't think about it like that just because it's rarely been a thing. All right, so FanDuel lineups are in. DraftKings lineups. Yo! Huey! Huey got that sweat on. Sorry, Huey is one of our premium subs. Huey, I don't know if you're listening to this, but we got that sweat on for you, man. Get those 30 G's. How many centers, laugh out loud? Yeah, like 27. Do I have lineups with Drummond and Harden? I'm sure I do. Have I maxed 150 and still lost? Yeah, constantly. Every other day. You guys got to realize, just because you play 150 doesn't mean you win. You lose a lot. It just happens. Without question, the biggest misconception that people have in this industry is that people that like max enter tournaments don't have losing days, or like have them very rarely. It's all the time. All the time. They're just offset with big days. Index match is significantly greater than VLOOKUP. I could not agree more. All right, lineups are in. Open my upload templates and at least get placeholders in here for the last 10 minutes. Get that paper, Huey. Alrighty, FanDuel. Upload. get 150 from Fanduel. I'm playing some crazy exposures today. It's going to be a good day. All right, Fanduel lineups are copied. I need 8 for my random tournaments. Start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. FanDuel lineups are in, people. I'm actually lying. They're not in. I haven't clicked upload yet. Oh, I have never entered 150 and not cashed a single lineup. That is not a thing. At least never been for me. But it all depends on how aggressive you are with your exposures. The more aggressive you are and the bigger stands that you take, the more likely that can happen. That's really difficult to do unless you're playing a lot of guys at like 100%. Who's my favorite center tonight? Yeah, open mic rejects. Like, that's not far off than the truth. Lose $500 a day and win 25K once a month. Like, that's sort of what you're shooting for. It's really hard for people to wrap their head around something like that, though. Why is Bielitsa so high? Because he's good. I mean, that's most of the answer, isn't it? I don't need that many lineups on DK. 81. Get these in, and then we can get 8 minutes worth of questions. I'm not going to really pay too much attention to my exposures, but we can talk through them. I just want to make sure I get everybody's questions answered. All right, close and save and yes. And upload. In, we're good. Back to Slack. So here we go. All right, what else we got from Premium Slack? Josh Engelman never takes a stand. Confirmed. You ready for that never takes a stand comment? I have 99% Jalen Brown on DraftKings. Who doesn't take a stand? Smart or Jalen Brown? Jalen Brown, not close. What is that percentage T you're sorting by? That's a great question. I wonder what that is. How much do I like Willie Cauley-Stein as a pivot off of JaVale on Yahoo? I don't. How much Harden on DraftKings? Harden, I have 50% Harden on DK. These are my literal exposures on the screen right now, people. Brown, 99. Marcus Morris, 75. CP3, 66. Buddy Hield, 58. James Harden, 50. Those are the top 5 on DraftKings. Sometimes you got to just go crazy. Anyone like Blake? Not me. So, Fields, you'll probably love that one. Does Baines bust today? I mean, he's not going to play enough. If I add more value, guys, I get like 50% Tice or Caruso. Can't do it. Yeah, sometimes you got to get weird. But Jalen Brown, Marcus Morris, Paul, Hield, Harden, Draymond, JaVale probably making out for me the most. On FanDuel, what do we got? What are the exposures? Marcus Morris, B. Jelly, Jalen Brown, JaVale, Chris Paul, Kyle Kuzma, Rondo. It'll be fun. Mills or Forbes, FanDuel, GPP punt. I assume I don't have really any of those guys. I can't really pick between them because I'm not really using them. Sorry, man. Do I have any James and KD lineups? I'm sure I do. Actually, I'm sure I don't. I only have 7% KD on FanDuel. Less than I don't think I have any on DraftKings. Yeah, I don't have any on DraftKings. Marcus Terry. I don't believe that Baines is on a minutes limit, 16 to 20. Also, Greg Monroe is available. If If there's any scenario where Daniel Tice sees 25 minutes today, it's because something weird happened. You cannot project him at that spot. Do you need any Pels in your line? Yeah, probably. On a 4-game slate, it's hard to answer that question as anything other than yes. Four minutes, everybody. How's Bertans grading out? I don't mind him as a FanDuel drop salary guy. 4 guys from Sacramento Lakers. Too many. No, not at all. Reggie Jackson is fine if you think he plays 30 minutes. Greg Monroe is not available on DK. Is that a true statement? That's a true statement. Greg Monroe is not available on DraftKings. 3 minutes left, everybody. Get your shit in. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday. I'll take 1,200 people. 1,200 people took time out of their Sunday to be like, hey, I'm going to turn on YouTube and listen to this moron. I love it, guys. I appreciate you guys being here with me. More than you'll ever know. Hit that like button. I didn't enter any Thrive props, but shout out to Thrive. My shirt is in the mail. In case anybody has never been here with us, Thrive Fantasy. You go to bit.ly.osmo and enter the promo code OSMOSTRAT. You'll get $5 for nothing. You don't even have to make a deposit. Thrive is a fantasy site where they give you a list of 20 player props, and then I pick more correct answers than Adam. That's what happens. DK got Jimmer yesterday. Yeah, I got Jimmered yesterday. Can you play Bielitsa and Barnes in the same lineup on FanDuel? Yeah, you can. You're living in a hotel room in Tampa for 3 months? I keep you sane? Bradley, why are you living in a hotel room in Tampa? I hope everything is okay. I assume that it's not. But I hope that things are getting better at least. Would I play Aaron Judge tonight at point guard? Don't confuse me. Rabashua, see you at the top of the fadeaway today. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. We went 1-2 yesterday. Might as well go 1-2 again today. Josh, what should I watch on Netflix? I would have to look at my Netflix. You should pose with your fist on your chin for a school pick. Yeah. What else we got? 2 more minutes. Oh, military. Okay. What branch, Bradley? Got a lot of Marines in my area. Witness protection. Yeah, watch out, Bradley. Huey, I don't really have a life, but I don't think you're listening to this either way. Judge 2 dongs. Cool, I can't wait to not roster him. One more minute. Get your stuff in, people. Not even 1 minute. 20 seconds. Will I tell you your cash lineup or my cash lineup after lock? You're in the Army. Oh man, that's awesome. Well, thank you. I hope that I'm helping at least a little bit. Donger, you were at Camp Lejeune? Man, I could be there in 40 minutes. But everyone drove to Wilmington to party. Yeah, that's a very true statement. Well, you obviously know now. We are locked. I saw something I wanted to talk about here, and now where did it go? Oh, Trevor T. I don't play cash. Dylan Evans. Josh is the worst Osimo employee. Well, Dylan Evans, you're the worst Dylan in this YouTube chat. How about that? 40% Willie. Jesus. Jay, we're all fish on some days, man. Dylan, when you said Josh is the worst Osimo employee, did you mean like first? Because it's not first. I think Spags beat me by like a couple days. But it's close. And it's a 1-year anniversary like tomorrow, I think. If Emac's still listening, I think he actually knows the answer to that. You're at Camp Lejeune right now? That's craziness, man. Well, I'm waiting. Hi. Can you see me waving from Camp Lejeune? Come to Wilmington, man. I'll see you inside an hour. You don't even have to go all the way downtown, man. I live in the Ogden area. When you get to Hampstead, turn left at the Smithfields. It's getting rebuilt. Oh, God. I'm extremely biased and always sound like I have a cold. I mean, that's a... Of course I'm biased. March 26th. Yes, yeah, so it's tomorrow then. Tomorrow is the same Monday. Yeah, of course I'm biased. If I were telling you guys, if I wasn't strong in my convictions of what I was playing, I would be a terrible person at this job. You understand that, right? It would, like, it's not going to get me. I'm too dismissive of players. Yeah, I'm trying to be. That's a feature, not a bug. What you're getting is honesty. That's the thing that you guys are missing. I'm telling you exactly what I'm doing. You can disagree with me. I'm probably going to be a jerk about it. But you're not getting the best information from me if I'm going to be wishy-washy about it. Does that make sense? Like, it's not helpful if I'm taking that stuff on. I have a model. I have a model that I know has been successful for me. So I give you the results of that model. I try not to take on too much. Like, when I get things like Adam being like, I can't believe you're not on Derek White, and then I dig into additional data, make my changes, and like, I'm there for that sort of information. But when I take that look, I'm taking what comes out of this because I know that it works. Bradley, if you ever have time, can you explain why the Heat never play Whiteside? Like 80% of the people that are listening to this are going to disagree with me, but he's not that great of a regular basketball player. You pretty much nailed it. He's a really good DFS guy. Like, I'm sure there are holes in my game. As you listen, I'm sure you probably catch them, but like, that's the key to it all. That's the key to it all. I just want to give you guys the information that I have. You can do with it like whatever you want to do, but I'm never going to lie about what I'm actually doing. Mac Jammy, you're the coolest moron. I love it, man. That's perfect. That's perfect. I love you guys. We are at 7:04. We are locked. I'm going to go grill some burgers. Best of luck to everybody tonight. I accidentally just closed chat, but it'll pop back up for me. I'm really happy that you guys joined me today. Yeah, by the way, this show is free, CJ the Great. You noticed that. But here we go. Thank you for joining me. I love you guys so much. Tomorrow morning, myself, Shit My Money will be on, breaking down all of Monday's slate. I'm going to go grill some burgers. Thank you for joining me on a Sunday. Hit that like button on your way out the door. Love you guys. Bye, everybody.